Title whispers of room 217. In the quiet folds of the Rocky Mountains, nestled under a constant veil of mist, stood the Stanley Hotel, grand, timeless, and just a little too still. Tourists came and went, charmed by its elegance and the stories that clung to its hallways like cobwebs. But some stories never made it into the brochures. Elena Grayson, a travel writer known for chasing haunted legends, arrived one gray October evening. She was drawn to the Stanley not for the beauty of its architecture or the view of Estes Park, but for room 217. It was the room where Stephen King once stayed, the room that allegedly whispered The Shining into his dreams. But long before that, it had a history, one filled with unanswered knocks, missing housekeepers, and a guest book that occasionally signed itself. Elena checked in with a nervous smile and a bag full of cameras, recorders, and a battered notebook. She didn't believe in ghosts, not really, but she believed in stories, and something told her this hotel had one that hadn't been told. That first night she stayed up, recording silence. At exactly 2:17 a.m., her camera clicked on by itself. A woman's voice, faint and breathy, came through her recorder. He never left. The next day she questioned the staff. Most laughed it off, but an old janitor, eyes sunken and voice rough, simply said, "Some rooms remember." 217 remembers him. "Who?" Elena asked. "The guest who never checked out." She laughed nervously, but that night she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The air in room 217 was heavy, her mirror fogged up from the inside. Her notebook pages flipped on their own. In the silence between her breaths, footsteps echoed from the empty hallway. On the third night, the power went out. Elena lit a candle and began writing, desperately trying to document everything. But when she looked up, she saw him, not in the flesh, but reflected behind her in the mirror. A man in a 1920s suit, pale, dripping wet, smiling too wide. He whispered, "You're telling the wrong story." In a panic, she ran, but found herself in a hallway that shouldn't exist. The doors were all marked 217. Elena was never seen again. But sometimes when the hotel is quiet and the fog clings thick around the windows, guests hear the soft scratching of a pen on paper. And if you're brave enough to stay in room 217, you might find her notebook, its last page filled with the words, "He never left." And now, neither have I.